Welcome to our MS Excel dashboard tutorial. Today we will create this dashboard, using Power Pivot, pivot tables, slicer, and timeline. We will learn to create a canvas in MS Excel, to place our visuals properly. And then we will design a stock performance dashboard, from historical stocks data. Our investors intend to invest in 4 tech companies. They have asked us to collect and analyze their historical data. Let's download their historical data from the internet. We will start with the Apple. One-year data will be enough for our dashboard. Let's download the data of first company. Rename the downloaded file, using the company's trading symbol. The second company will be Microsoft. Select 1 year, for the period of historical data. And download the data. Rename the file, using the symbol of Microsoft Corporation. For our third company, we will download the data of Google. Select 1 year historical data of Google, and download the file to your computer. Rename the file, using the trading symbol of Google. Finally, we will download the historical data of Meta. Again, select 1 year, as time frame of historical data, and download the file. Rename this file as well. Move these files to an appropriate location. Create an Excel file, named Stocks. Create a folder named Data, and move the 4 data files into that folder. Open the Stocks file. And go to the Data tab. In the Get Data menu, select from Folder. Now, select the folder, where you have placed the data files. This will load all the CSV files from the folder. Here, choose the Combine and Transform data. This will display header data for review. After reviewing the data, click on the OK button. Review the data, especially the data types, in the query editor, and then press the Close and Load button. This will load the data from all the files, and display that data in a single table. Remember, if you update files in that folder, data can be updated here as well, just by clicking the Refresh button. Copy the first column to a new sheet. Select the column, and from the Data tab, click on the Remove Duplicate button. Now we have unique symbols. Add another column for company names. And add name of company before each symbol. Select this range, and convert it into a table. Remember to check, my table has headers. Give the table an appropriate name. Rename the sheet as well. Now, activate the Power Pivot add-in, from the options, if you already don't have it in your ribbon. We will use the Power Pivot to create a data model. Add both tables to the data model using the Power Pivot tab, which is now available in the ribbon. To create a data model, click on the diagram view and connect both tables using the source name column. Now get back to your Excel file. Add a new sheet, named Working. Add a pivot table, from Data Model, in cell A1. Add the closing price field, to the values area. Summarize this value field by maximum. Copy this pivot table, and paste it in cell A4. Change the value, to summarize by minimum. Copy this pivot table, and paste it in the cell A7. Changing the value, to summarize by average. Copy this pivot table, and paste it in cell A10. This time summarize it by standard deviation. Finally, copy this pivot table, and paste it in cell A13. Summarizing the value, by variance. In the cell B2, enter the word highest, combined by the value of maximum stock price. Similarly, enter the lowest price, in cell B5. And the average price in cell B8, which may require rounding, to 2 decimal places. Enter the value of standard deviation, in the cell B11, along with its description. Finally, enter the value of variance, in cell B14. Copy one of the pivot tables, and paste it in cell D1. Change the summarize value field by, to sum. And, add the date field, to the rows area, of the pivot table, removing years, quarters, and months. Copy this pivot table, and paste it in the cell G1. Remove the closing price from values, and add the opening, high, and low prices instead. Copy one of the pivot tables, and place it in the cell L1. Remove the fields, from value area. Add the volume field, to the values area. Format it as commas separated number. Now, create a new sheet, and rename it to Dashboard. Set the width of all cells, to 1. And height of all cells, to 10. Now we have a proper grid. We can use Protect Sheet to avoid selecting or editing the cells. And we can now use the Snap to Grid option to easily place visuals in our dashboard. To add a heading to our dashboard, add a text box. Resize and place it appropriately at the top of the dashboard. Use Snap to Grid and movement keys to place the objects precisely on the dashboard. This text box should cover the entire width of the dashboard. Enter appropriate text to create a heading for your dashboard. Select an appropriate font size for your title and place it at the center of the dashboard. Make it bold as well. Add a slicer to your dashboard and select the data model to connect to. Select the company name field to insert slicer. Place this slicer at the top right corner. We will create a dark theme for our dashboard. Change the background of the text box to black and font color to white. You can use one of the predefined styles as well. We can create a similar style for our slicer as well. From Slicer Styles, click on the new slicer style. Select the whole slicer and click on the Format button. Change the fill color to black and font color to white. Close the Format and Style windows and select your new style. Make necessary adjustments to the slicer. Remember, your objects should fill the grid exactly. Otherwise they will not align properly. Now, add a timeline to your dashboard and connect it to the date field in Data Model. Place it next to the slicer. And just like slicer, create a new dark style for your timeline. By clicking on the new timeline style on the Timeline Styles pane, then changing the fill color to black and font color to white. Close the Format and Style windows and select your new timeline style. Select quarters for your timeline visual and place it nicely on the dashboard. Add a text box to your dashboard. Select a dark style for your text box and place the text box next to the timeline visual. Make sure it is a perfect square. Now, in the formula bar, enter the reference to the cell with the highest price in the working sheet. Change the font color to white and select an appropriate font size as well. Place the text in the center of the text box. Copy and paste the text box right next to the existing text box. Change the reference to the cell with the lowest price in the working sheet. Duplicate the text box again and place it next to the existing one. Change its reference to the average price cell in the working sheet. Repeat these steps and display the standard deviation, and the variance, as well. Go to the working sheet, and click on the pivot table, with closing prices. Insert a line chart. Remove the title and legend. Move the chart, from the working sheet, to the dashboard. And place it nicely, at the bottom left corner of the dashboard. From the chart styles, select a dark style for this line chart. Change the fill color to black. Perfect, now add other charts as well. Click on the pivot table with open, high, and low prices, and add a line chart. Move this line chart, to the dashboard sheet. Choose a dark style with dark background. Change the fill color to black. Place it nicely, next to the other line chart. Click on the last pivot table, and create a line chart. Move this chart, to the dashboard sheet as well. Place it at the bottom right corner of the dashboard. Change its fill color, to black as usual. And select a dark style from the list of styles. Our dashboard is almost ready. Change the fill color of entire sheet, to dark gray. Hide the ribbon as well. Select the slicer, and click on the report connections. Now, connect the slicer, to all the pivot tables. Similarly, select the timeline visual, and connect it to all the pivot tables as well. Now protect the sheet, enabling only the Edit Objects option. Hide the formula bar, and headings as well. Our grid lines are already hidden due to fill color. Otherwise, if you have a lighter background, you can choose to hide them as well. And this concludes our today's tutorial. Thanks for watching. We hope you liked our tutorial. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insightful tutorials and updates.